Did I get you? Whatever. Today I'd like to introduce you to one of my favorite web series ever. I think it's criminally underrated and watched, so in the spirit of Spooky Month, I thought I'd tell you about the Mayfair Watchers Society. One of my favorite parts is all the perspectives you see along the way. The exterminators, the watchers, some people who are just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Of course, there will inevitably be spoilers, so I'll do my best to write a summary, and if it interests you, I highly suggest you go watch the episode, then come back. Without further ado, let's begin. Death and Taxes explores a little before-mentioned faction of Mayfair, the Exterminators. Is this a joke entry? I don't know. They do what it says on the box. It's unclear how far their jurisdiction and power reaches, but the IRS does call them in to deal with the mission in this episode. These people have an actual idea of what they're getting into, so it's far less horror-filled and more drama and mystery. These anomalies have never been seen before. It shows you what a mission with the Exterminators looks like from the employee view, not some corporate training video, all too often in analog horror. It's like playing Lethal Company. Overall, it's a great expansion of the universe, leaving you with plenty of questions while answering some, and I cannot wait to see more of them. This night is going from bad to worse. Let's save it with alcohol. In a graveyard. With no ability to drive. Yep. Honestly, this was a sleeper pick. I was in the Watchers Discord talking about favorite episodes, and Boney came up and I was like, oh yeah, that ending is brutal. I thought about it for a while and it grew on me. Boney's beginning could have been pulled right out of a coming-of-age story. The year isn't stated directly, but can be inferred to be between 1988 and 1992, which is uncommon for the series, which has been vaguely present day so far. It's like Life is Strange, in the way that the coming of age is utterly eviscerated by the supernatural. Sam and Tim tolerate Spike to varying degrees. Example:
what's so great about Spike Mansfield?
I think we're drinking it, man.
You act so weird around him.
No, he's the one acting weird.
I just don't think you're being honest, Sam. You're never afraid to be yourself when it's just us.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
He was looking at you funny. Like, I wanted to say, back off, Sam's not like that. But you just let him act all macho. It pisses me off.
Whoa. Why do you think I'm out here faking it so hard anyway, huh?
Spike bursts out of the woods running for his life, leaving Sam and Tim with the thing that spooked him, and obviously it's not friendly. They fight, they hide, they run, they fight again, but it doesn't matter. Boney finally gets the better of them. And that right there really brings it all together. What if YouTubers who look for trouble actually found some? What if the prank was real? What if calling John Pork at 3 a.m. actually worked? I just love this episode, from concept to execution. It reminds me of the 2017 vlogs, especially Logan Paul. The overproduced voices, the paid girlfriend, it's all fake until it's too real. It may be a little sadistic, but there's a slight joy I feel. Those YouTube voices disappearing and turning into true fear. Their competitive bullshit falls away as you remember these people had no idea what they're dealing with. The somber moments of realism that would be cut out of any modern video turn from a hit piece and a parody to a tragedy. When Bradley gets dragged under, it's real panic. The doubt, the explaining, it's what anyone would do. It's just, you can tell they're all friends, or at least they were in the past 6 years that Jackson has been doing his YouTube channel. Then Bradley dies, and it breaks Jax. He starts lashing out at everything, while Chase, up to now, the comic relief, instantly becomes logical and analytical. Looking for some place to regroup, they head to the Cabin of Exposition. Though it's well done. Unless you know this isn't some angry spirit, it's something else entirely. Unfortunately, the Creekman lures the two back with an imitation of Bradley's voice. And it's over. Jex dies just like Braley did, like some twisted horror retelling of Romeo and Juliet. What happened to Chase? Well... Chase is back. The events of Creekman certainly changed him. He's worked on himself, and he wants some closure, so he's back in Mayfair with his new bro-dude friend. Unfortunately, the cabin and the Creekman are nowhere to be found. The thing that really sends him over the edge, though, is Cow Eater Creamer, a new ice cream joint the locals can't stop talking about. Did I mention he's lactose intolerant? So the people he's interviewing are yapping on and on about something he can't even try while he's trying to get closure. In his own words...
This isn't a monster living inside someone's boathouse, or a ghost story about haunted railroad tracks or some other ooky spooky bull. My friends died here. Do you not get that? I watched it happen. And the only thing left of them is a story that no one believes. And now the proof is gone too. All of it, this whole trip, was for nothing. So yeah, I guess I'm just not in the mood to keep talking about ice cream.
He doesn't get much from the interviews, just the locals had heard of the Creekmen before, and things were changing, most likely due to the events of fracking and Burger Boys. And possibly even blood tracks? The timeline's a little unclear, but the guys decide to continue the next day. Landon wakes up screaming in the night about something outside their motel window, waking Chase. Landon had a nightmare, one of those ones where you can't tell it wasn't real until you wake up. This is how he describes it.
In my dream, I was here, in the hotel room. Same lamp by my bed, same painting of a beach on the wall across from me, same window. Only instead of just darkness outside, I could see this face pressed so close its breath was fogging up the glass. It was like, I had this book of scary stories when I was a kid with these up illustrations that scared the absolute hell out of me. And there was this one story that was the worst out of all of them. About this guy staying the night in a haunted house, and he keeps hearing a voice coming up from the chimney. And at the end of the story, a severed head falls down the chimney and just screams at him. Kind of a dumb ending, I know, but the illustration that went with it was just so graphic, you know? Just this round, swollen head with shriveled lips and teeth jutting out, little skeletal holes where the nose should be, and dark and empty eyes. The face in the window looked just like that, only way bigger, except the eyes were smaller, and the mouth was wider. It almost looked like it went all the way around.
The mouth did?
Yeah.
Hey man, you know you can be honest with me, right?
Sure. Why?
Did you piss yourself?
What? No, I must have been sweating like crazy. The sheets are soaked.
Just calling it like I smell it, that's not sweat.
It's not pee. It's probably just... What the
I was right, huh?
No, it's milk.
The next morning, the town's all cagey. Nobody wants to stop for an interview. And between the standoffish attitudes and a literal street brawl, Mayfair turns from a seemingly normal town to Innsmouth. However, more interestingly is that Cow Eater Creamery is closed right after a booming first day just shuttered. Then, Chase starts putting it together.
Dude, I just had a power thought. Hear me out.
I'm listening.
Your weird dreams, the rancid vibes around town today, the, milk sweat. What if it's all connected?
How do you mean?
And those guys were fighting about missing cows, right? It's all connected, bro. I can see the big bulletin board in my brain right now, dude, and I'm connecting the red dots, and they all lead back to this place. They just opened, right?
Yeah.
And then shit got strange, and all of a sudden they're closed again with no explanation after such a massively successful opening. You saw those lines.
I don't know. Seems kind of out there.
You don't get it. This town is like the Twilight Zone. Weirdness finds a way here. You gotta think, is an ice cream conspiracy really such a stretch?
Okay, let's say you're right. What would you even want to do about it?
Easy. We come back here late tonight when there's no one around, and we sneak into the store to check it out for ourselves. See what they might be hiding.
Then we follow all the expected shenanigans of breaking in, after literally finding out how the milk is made. Turns out, it's crazy addictive and poisonous. Exploring deeper, they run into the thing from the nightmare. Like any respectable YouTuber, Chase tries to get a good shot. Unfortunately...
We gotta go right now, Chase!
Wait, it's not doing anything yet. Just one good shot of its face before you go, okay? Just one good shot.
No way, man! Stop! Get away from him! Chase, you gotta...
It's aggressive. Is there a theme of content creators doing stupid shit for content? Maybe. Eli, aka Glass Ceilings, is a music artist who's looking for a little extra spice in their samples. I just gotta say, the final composition slaps. Reminds me of funk and electronica. I wish I knew how Elijah got from start to finish. But besides that, we see the major groups go head to head, or rather interactions between members of the Exterminators and the Watchers. One of the crazier Watchers, to be honest, but when you live in a town with the supernatural, I get paranoid. Conspiracy theorists. The Exterminator, aka Frank, does care, even if he's a little cold in introducing himself to Elijah. Of course, Stephen already knows Frank, and they get into it. But they decide to get along and get on their way, forming a type of peace. An interesting bit of lore for you at home is that the creatures our unlikely trio are searching for were in the episodes The Autopsy and The Exterminators. Clearly someone's favorite, but I can't blame them. Anyway, we learn these creatures are weird. Stuff like birthing by propagation and unprotected nests. Qualities completely alien to us. Our gang even gets to see two of them hatch. They get territorial, so our ragtag team flees, but Eli gets what they came here for. Here's the beat.
This is incredible, man. I hate to admit it, but you were right. Except...
Ellie and Nora move into their new apartment, but not all their neighbors are as friendly as expected. Peak is peak. As someone who's had to stay in several sketchy motels, I'll tell you, this story fits right in. I'm already on edge from the moment Ellie's neighbors ignore her. I mean, it's a small town, so they aren't known for being so closed off. And number two, there's just no subtlety to it.
Hey, what's up? Those messages you sent earlier were a little worrying.
It's been a day.
What's been happening, Elle?
It's the people in this fucking building. You lived here. Is everyone in Mayfair like this, or do I just bring it out in people?
Like what?
Just fucking weird. You know, standoffish. Bad vibes.
What happened?
Okay, so like, a couple things. There was this incident in the elevator earlier today. These two guys, maybe about our age, they were talking and laughing when the door opened, but I swear to God, the second they saw me, they just clammed up, stone-faced.
What?
I said hi, tried to be friendly, told them I was new to the building. Nothing. Maybe like a nod at most.
Well, maybe it wasn't you. Maybe they were talking about something private or...
Okay, if it was just the one thing, I might believe that. But it wasn't just the elevator.
Don't forget, Ellie's in a small town, hours away from anyone she knows. But even with the strange neighbors and weird occurrences, she trudges forward. She's an optimist, and wanting to stress out her partner as little as possible, she does her best on her own. Complaining to the landlord, calling the cops, but it's all in vain. Maybe she should have run, but would it have changed anything? The series is very human, and that's my favorite part. No slasher porno plots. I feel so bad for Nora. Guess it proves no matter what you do, you can't avoid everything. Wait, you expect me to explain myself? Good news, everyone. They're finally reopening Mayfair's old rec center. One thing I adore about Abernathy is that it seems really scary throughout, masterfully building tension. But the creature is actually harmless. I've nearly drowned twice in public pools. I was ready for some kind of human-eating kelp, but it was just a little guy who got stuck. The voicemail gimmick can get annoying at times, but the sudden silence when he gets cut off in the middle make it more than worth the slightly odd framing. Yay, public transportation at night. My favorite. No, I didn't grow up in suburbia, why do you ask? The woman on the bus is an introvert's nightmare. The major tension comes from strangers, reliance on others, as well as the phone's about to die cliche. All perfect for a shy, overly cautious, paranoid person. Like myself. Savannah's walking back after a long day of customer service. It's dark and it's late, so she calls up her friend Lou for company. Lou asks if she wants a ride. She says no, not wanting to be a burden and such. She banter about everything. Work, the weather, and some strange dreams Val's been having. Pretty boring when it comes to weird dreams though, just stuff about being stuck on public transportation. Then, out of nowhere...
Get this, they even... Everything okay?
It's fine. Probably just some drunk guy.
On a Tuesday?
She rushes to find the temporary bus stop, and she finds it. But...
Val?
Just a second.
Are you okay?
Shh. I think I can see someone else here.
What?
There's someone standing here maybe 40 feet away.
Shit. What are they doing?
Just standing in the middle of the street.
What do they look like?
Can't say they're too far away from a streetlight, but they're tall. Lou, come pick me up.
What?
I think they just moved.
I'm putting my coat on now.
Come quick, please. Oh shit, the bus is here.
You still want me to come? I can head right out the door.
I'm just gonna get on. Stay on the line.
Okay. I'm still here. What's the bus's number?
No time.
Perhaps she should have been a little more careful, though, because when she's on that bus, her fate is sealed. Not just her fate, but Lou's as well. Those things that sounded like sleigh bells in this clip? Well, if you watch the whole episode, you'll realize they've been following her since about the scream. Once the person moved, the sleigh bells rang again.
I want to look, but I know I'm not meant to.
What?
Like in the dream, I know if I looked at her, something terrible would happen, but I need to see her.
Jesus Christ, Val. It was just a dream.
I'm gonna be subtle. I'm gonna act like I'm taking a selfie and get a picture of her.
Come on, man.
No, I shouldn't have done that shit. Lou, I shouldn't have done that.
Did she see you?
She was looking at me. Fuck, she's looking right at me. There's something wrong with her face.
What the hell you mean by that?
It's too long, like they stretched it. I can't see her eyes.
You took a picture?
Yeah.
Send it to me.
What?
I can tell you how much of this is in your head. Okay. See? It's just... Oh.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that.
Did you do something to this photo?
Lou, I think something terrible is going to happen.
That thing with the face? The lighting's not great back there. It could just be shadows. Stuff looks weird this time of night. Maybe she's just looking because you're the only person there.
I need to get off this fucking bus, Lou.
Try hitting the stop button a few more times. Maybe...
I've heard it said ignorance is bliss. I've also heard ignorance is weakness, but sometimes it's better to not dig in, I guess. To be honest, this ending is a little weaker than some of the other ones we've covered. It's on the nose and the scream is underwhelming, but I think it shows the growing pains of the series. I mean, it was literally the first episode, so I can tolerate a stock scream. You've had thoughts of suicide for a long time, but that means you can handle it, right? You can be a sign of light for others, even if you can't find your own. It'd be scary if I called this relatable. It's at least concerning. Here to Listen ends horrifically, letting the monster win in the fashion of some sort of pact with the devil. But I think the worst part is it's not just our main character. I see my friends in the others. I won't be specific, of course. Me, a monster that can be reasoned with but still be too is more terrifying than one that can't be reasoned with. Because I've always felt like a smart but weak person. And to see the main character, someone who I felt so close to, lose by giving in, knows that I'd give in too. Wow, this video, it's late. Really. It's very late. You know, the hurricane happened and all that. You know, it's just, it was a thing. It was a thing. This is my first video like this, so if you like it, definitely send it to your favorite goth girl who loves horror. Any alt girl you know probably will like this video. I'm like Wendigoon, but worse in every single way. I love him so much. He's so cool. Don't let him know I said that, actually, unless I get popular, which in that case, I would love to collab. Wendigoon, please! You're so cool. And based. Oh my goodness. You're my favorite, honestly. Anyways, I think I'm rambling now. Anyways, I've been the Bloody Lucky. You've been an amazing audience, and, I love men.